First up, traffic stops. I feel like this is a scenario when it comes to your right to remain silent where a lot of people go wrong. First, I think it's important for us to remind ourselves that you don't have to be a criminal to encounter the police. Sometimes everyday, good law-abiding citizens run into the police, and now you find yourself being a defendant. And a place where this often happens is a traffic stop. Maybe you're a good person, but like me, you drive fast. And so you get yourself pulled over, okay? So when you get pulled over, there are certain things that you have to talk to the police about, but there are certain things that you absolutely do not have to talk to the police about. For example, things that are gonna get you investigated for a crime. So let's talk about how this plays out. Let's say you're driving late at night and you get pulled over for speeding. And the officer comes up and he says to you, "Where are you coming from?" You don't have to answer that. And you shouldn't answer that, especially if you're coming from a bar. And so you say, "Oh, I was just at a bar with my friend's officer." And then his next question is, "How much have you had to drink tonight?" Do not tell him you had 2 mixed drinks and a shot, because before you answered that question, you were on your way home. And now you're going to find yourself on the side of the road doing a 9-step walk-in turn test and reciting the alphabet backwards because you have just given him probable cause for a crime. So do not volunteer extra information and do not have small talk with the police. Now, as a passenger, what information do you have to provide to the police? None. The law where I live and practice says that if you're a passenger in the vehicle, the officer can ask you for information, but you don't have to provide that. So what will people say in response to this? Well, sometimes it's just easier to be polite and cooperate. And that is true. And you can be polite and cooperate without waiving your rights. Because the reality is, you're darned if you do or you're darned if you don't most of the time. So if you find your cooperative self in the jail lockup later that night, at least you have preserved your rights by not offering too much information. Because that officer that was so friendly is not going to be so friendly when he's booking you in cuffs. So remember, at a traffic stop, you still have a right to remain silent.